The NFL is all about rules.
There was no foul on the play. It was not a hold. The defender was just overpowered.
Whether it's treating the quarterbacks like babies and gently laying them to the ground as a tackle, to fumbling through the end zone for a touchback. Rules govern the game. But what about the horrible, terrible, stupid rules that were snuffed out before they got to that point? Yes, today we're looking at NFL rule proposals that didn't happen. Let's first establish what needs to happen for an NFL rule to change. During the offseason NFL owners meetings, clubs or the rules committee can propose and discuss rule changes. All proposals must be approved by 24 of the NFL's 32 owners to be adopted. Let's get into it. The punters are too good. The year is 1938 and the punters are somehow too freaking good. Picture that. This year, punters were punting that thing so well, their ability to pin teams inside the 10-yard line essentially gave offenses no chance to score. The coaches got so mad that points were not being scored that they had an idea. Declare punts inside the 10-yard line a touchback, just as if it had gone over the goal line, and taking away the punter's ultimate power. This is dumb for a lot of reasons and sought to further minimize the punter's contribution to the game of football. I mean, it's already insulting enough that a punter's job is essentially effective surrendering. Thank God they didn't take away the coffin corner, or else punters would have nothing else to live for. Hey, punters are people too. A scout's honor. Imagine trusting Bill Belichick to tell the truth to his opposition during the game. In 1941, way before instant replay, the NFL struggled to police illegal substitutions, and the umpires were upset. The idea, the coaches used the honor system for substitutions. No shot. Essentially, they would just let the two teams do whatever they wanted in terms of substitutions, as long as the other coach acknowledged that they were both cheating. Then I guess it made it okay? Dan Campbell would have still found a way to fuck it up.
70 reported.
Did Decker report as well?
Fuck a penny. Extra points are only fun when they are missed or a team goes for two, but they are still fun in those situations. They also make it so you need a real kicker on your team. But in 1953, that almost changed. The NFL owners voted on completely eliminating the extra point and just counting a touchdown as 7 points. I mean, I couldn't imagine a world where the theatrics and critical decision-making after a score was eliminated. Again, Dan Campbell would still find a way to fuck it up.
Come on, I thought it was a reckless decision.
Thank you.
Okay, but you don't regret it.
No.
Straight to the face. Was this guy just stupid? Was it something about being a Redskins owner that took away your smarts? In 1955, Redskins owner George Preston Marshall wanted to eliminate the use of any and all face masks. Yes, I am dead serious. He wanted these dudes to get crunched in the face, and he meant well, I guess. He was convinced that they caused more injuries than they prevented, but he was also just an idiot and a racist. I wonder what kind of data he used to deduce that information. Probably he just made up his own stats because he thought helmets cost too much. By the mid-50s, of course, almost all players were wearing a face mask. When the Wire Service took an informal poll of the Washington roster, it found that 32 of the 33 players disagreed with their boss. If they took my face mask away, tackle Don Bowles said, I'd quit football. I broke my nose 7 times in college when I didn't have a mask. I get it, tough guys are tough, but you don't have to be any uglier than you have to be. The 9-point touchdown? In 2015, the Colts decided that 7 points or even 8 points just wasn't enough. Nope, just like your girlfriend, they wanted 9. Indy proposed that a team should be able to attempt a 50-yard extra point after a successful 2-point conversion. Doesn't seem like a bad idea on the surface, but where's the risk? Every team that nailed a 2-point conversion would then attempt a 50-yarder, which statistically is good 2/3 of the time. Is football not good enough as it currently is? Do we need more chaos and more scoregami? Yes, we need more scoregami, but still, people watch football to avoid math, and the Colts were proposing something that was borderline anti-American. Going for it. This proposal sure was going for it, as in 2019, the Broncos proposed a rule that would allow teams to have a 4th and 15 from their own 35-yard line instead of an onside kick. Kind of crazy they proposed this rule when Patrick Mahomes is in their division. Look, the surprise onside kick is now gone, and quite frankly, I hate both the onside kick and this rule proposal, because it feels like with quarterbacks these days, teams would go for this a lot, and if you convert or get a shitty PI call, you're starting with the ball back over midfield. Just completely minimize what happens during the game so that we can get insane and often unwarranted comebacks. You cannot tell me that one special teams play or a 4th and 15 conversion has the same value as 3 defensive stops. The competition committee actually voted 7-1 in favor of this rule, but that didn't matter because the owners shot it down. Choose your death. Okay, this one just seems super unrealistic. In 2021, both the Ravens and the Eagles proposed a spot and choose situation for overtime. It means the winner of the coin toss can choose one of 2 things. They could choose to start the ball on offense or defense, but they can choose where to spot the ball to begin overtime. This meant that a team could defer and opt to play on defense, but choose to spot the ball on the 1-yard line, making it necessary for the other team to go 99 yards. It could also make it hard for a team to decide what to do if the other team places the ball on their own 20, and so forth. This would create a true sudden death format that would minimize the impact of the overtime coin toss.
I'm one of those purists who like the sudden death. We'll move forward and have some fun watching some playoff games, hopefully with some new overtime rules, baby.
Why? Because then the winning team wouldn't automatically benefit from winning the toss, as if they elect to receive, they could have the ball placed deep in their own territory. And if they elect to spot the ball, they would have to play defense, but at an advantage. Personally, I think the overtime rules are good now, but fitting, this rule came from 2 bird teams because to me it was a load of squirted shit. Again, Dan Campbell would somehow mess this up by electing to play defense on his 1-yard line after winning the toss and then having a press conference to say, I was just trying to make it interesting. And lastly, the touchback rule. You probably know the rule. If an offensive team fumbles the ball into their opponent's end zone, it's a touchback. It causes offenses to cry and defenses to rejoice. Recently, the Packers proposed a rule that would have changed that and made it just a 10-yard penalty with the loss of down. Meaning that if you fumbled on 3rd down, it would now be 4th down from the opponent's 11. I get that people hate the touchback rule. However, I think that is mostly dependent on which end of the stick your team was getting when it happened. I love the original rule. It gives the defense and fans something to hope for. A deus ex machina when things look bleak. And Dan Campbell, you can take this one off. Only Joe Judge could fuck up this rule.
And now the whistle blows, a challenge flag.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown had been confirmed before the ball was made ready for play. By rule, New York is not permitted to throw the challenge flag on a scoring play. New York will be charged with its first time out of the half.
Also, you, Joe Judge. Fucking piece of shit.